Okay, so this happened to me 3 years ago. I was sitting in a restaurant in Chicago. Tiny place. Warm lights, jazz music. I felt very confident. Too confident. And the waiter walked over and said, "Are you ready to order?" Simple question, right? But my brain completely froze. Like empty. Nothing.
That panic is so real.
I knew English. I studied grammar for years. But suddenly I forgot the word for chicken.
No way.
Yes. I pointed at the menu like a confused pirate. And then I said, the bird meat? The bird meat is honestly incredible. The waiter smiled so politely. But inside, I wanted to disappear. And weirdly, that embarrassing moment taught me something important about speaking English. Yeah, because most people don't fear vocabulary. They fear embarrassment. And restaurants are one of those places where your brain suddenly forgets everything. Exactly. So today, we're spending a full day inside a restaurant. Not as customers, as a waiter. Because once you understand the rhythm of restaurant English, everything starts feeling more natural.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to Think and Speak English, the cozy little corner of YouTube where English feels a bit less scary and a bit more human. So grab some tea, or coffee, or leftover pizza from yesterday. No judgment.
Especially if it's breakfast. Breakfast pizza is underrated. That's a dangerous opinion.
Okay, imagine this. It's 7:30 in the morning. A waiter named Daniel arrives at work. He's tired, a little sleepy. But the restaurant is already alive. Coffee machines hissing. Plates clinking. Someone in the kitchen yelling, "Where are the eggs?"
Restaurants always feel like controlled chaos. Like a beautiful disaster.
Exactly. And Daniel starts his daily routine. First, he puts on his apron. Then he checks the tables. He wipes everything carefully. Menus, chairs, salt and pepper bottles. And honestly, there's something comforting about routines like this.
Yeah, because routines are like mental maps. When you know the routine, your brain relaxes. And language works the same way. That's why restaurant English becomes easier after repetition. Not because you suddenly become perfect, but because your brain recognizes the pattern. Oh, like walking through the same doorway every day.
Exactly. At first, the doorway feels unfamiliar. Then, one day, you stop thinking about it. You just walk through naturally. So Daniel starts preparing for customers. He folds napkins, refills water glasses, checks reservations. And then the manager says, "Good morning, Daniel. We're expecting a busy lunch today." That phrase is useful. We're expecting. It means you think something will happen soon. Like, we're expecting a lot of customers. Or, I'm expecting my friend at 6. It's soft English. Not aggressive. Not too direct. Very natural. And honestly, restaurant English is full of soft language. Because waiters are constantly trying to sound polite. Not robotic. Just warm. Like,
Can I get you anything else? How's everything so far? Take your time. Tiny phrases, but they create comfort. And comfort changes conversations. People speak better when they feel safe. That's true in restaurants, and honestly, it's true in language learning too. That reminds me, I used to panic every time someone asked me, "Are you ready to order?" Because I thought I needed perfect English. But native speakers don't speak perfectly either. Sometimes they pause, sometimes they forget words, sometimes they say, for 10 seconds. Professional level communication. Exactly.
At 9 a.m., the first customers arrive. An older couple. Very friendly. Daniel smiles and says, "Good morning. Table for two?" Simple. Natural. And notice the rhythm. Not, "Hello, how many people?"
That sounds terrifying.
Right? Real English has emotional temperature. Some people speak English correctly, but emotionally cold. And conversations become awkward.
That's such an important point. Language is not only information, it's energy. Imagine English like music. Grammar is the structure, but emotion is the melody. Without melody, it feels empty.
Wow, that actually makes so much sense. Okay, so Daniel brings them menus. Then he says, "I'll give you a few minutes." That's super common in restaurants. It means relax, no pressure. Take your time.
And that phrase is beautiful for beginners because it removes tension. A lot of English learners rush, but natural conversations breathe slowly.
Okay, can I confess something embarrassing?
Always.
The first time I heard, "Would you like still or sparkling water?" I thought sparkling water meant glowing water, like magical fantasy water. Honestly, that sounds cooler. I was sitting there thinking, wow, America is advanced.
Imagine opening the bottle and it shines in the dark.
I would buy it. Immediately.
Now it's lunchtime. And suddenly, everything changes. The restaurant becomes loud, fast, busy, orders everywhere. A customer waves their hand. Another table asks for ketchup. Someone drops a spoon. A child starts crying. Restaurants during lunch feel like survival movies sometimes. Poor Daniel is carrying 3 plates at once. And then the kitchen makes a mistake. Uh-oh. Wrong order. Table 7 ordered pasta, but they received salad. That moment is terrifying for waiters because now they need calm English, not panic English. Exactly. So Daniel says, "I'm so sorry about that. Let me fix it right away." That sentence is gold. Not defensive, not angry, just calm ownership. And notice something important. When people panic, their English usually shrinks. Shorter sentences, simpler words. That's normal. Actually, that's human. That makes me feel better. Because sometimes when I panic, my English becomes caveman English. Me hungry, need coffee. To be fair, that's emotionally understandable English.
You know what's funny? We still haven't solved your bird meat disaster. Oh no. Please don't bring that back. We have to. The people deserve closure. Fine, but later. I need emotional recovery first. Okay, everyone, now let's step fully into the restaurant. Imagine you are sitting at a table. You hear soft music. You smell fresh bread. A waiter walks over. Ready?
Good evening. Welcome in. How many people?
Just one.
Right this way. Here's your menu. Can I get you something to drink first?
Yeah. Could I have an iced tea?
Of course. Sweet or unsweetened?
Sweet, please.
Perfect. I'll be right back.
See how soft that sounds? No complicated grammar. Just smooth rhythm. Okay, a few minutes later. Are you ready to order?
I think so. What do you recommend?
The grilled chicken is really popular. And the tomato pasta is great too.
Okay.
I'll try the chicken. Great choice. And what side would you like? Fries, salad, or rice? Rice, please. Perfect. I'll get that started for you. That phrase, I'll get that started for you,
There's something powerful about restaurant conversations. They're short, simple, human. And honestly, that's why they're amazing for English learners. Because they teach connection before perfection.
Whoa. Say that again.
Connection before perfection.
That should be on a t-shirt.
Okay. We have waited long enough. Tell us what happened after bird meat.
All right. So the waiter stared at me for 1 second. And then he smiled and said, "You mean chicken?" And honestly, that tiny moment changed everything. Because he wasn't mocking me. He understood me. That's the secret most learners don't realize. Communication is not a perfect grammar test. It's a bridge. And bridges don't need to look perfect. They just need to connect two people.
That's beautiful and true. Most English mistakes happen when we panic, but people are usually kinder than our fears. So, today we learned restaurant English through Daniel's daily routine. Opening the restaurant, greeting customers, taking orders, fixing mistakes, surviving the lunch rush. And along the way, we heard useful phrases like, "Are you ready to order?" "What do you recommend?" "I'm so sorry about that." "I'll be right back." Take your time. Simple phrases. Real situations. Real emotions. That's what makes language memorable. Because your brain remembers feelings faster than rules. If speaking English makes you nervous sometimes, you're not strange. You're human. Confidence usually arrives after the awkward moments, not before them. And every small conversation matters. Even the messy ones. Even the bird meat ones. Especially those. Because little by little, English becomes less scary. One conversation at a time. And
honestly, you're improving more than you realize. Before you go, tell us about a time you felt nervous speaking English. Or write one restaurant sentence in English. Something simple like, "I'd like a coffee, please." We read the comments all the time. And you're never alone here. See you in the next episode of Think and Speak English. Bye.
I walked into a restaurant, feeling cool and smart. But when the waiter talked to me, my English fell apart. Are you ready to order? I froze like winter ice. I looked at him and whispered, "The bird meat with fries." Oh, bird meat blues tonight. My confidence just left my life. I knew the word like yesterday, but panic took my brain away. Oh, everybody smiled at me, even the waiter sympathetically. Now every time I order food, I hear those bird meat blues cry.